Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bluffton University Memorial Field. Nate Mullins and Ben Gillig joining you live with Greg Kinn on the cameras today. Thanks for tuning in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. You're tuned in to the Your Legacy Federal Credit Union pregame show. Once again, we are here at Bluffton University Memorial Field, a beautiful facility here, folks. If you don't know anything about this facility, folks, I highly encourage you to do a little bit of digging, a little bit of research. But for those of you who are not familiar, let me just take you along a little ride here, because this is definitely a special facility here. So once again, we're here at Bluffton University Memorial Field, and we're going to go ahead and take a step aside for the national anthem here. So.
Hey, it doesn't get much better on a Saturday afternoon in the spring than the national anthem at a place like Bluffton. What a beautiful
day today here at Bluffton University Memorial Field. Once again, you're tuned in here on the Your Legacy Federal Credit Union pregame show. Nate Mullins, and that's right, Ben Gillig joining me on the broadcast today for today's district final matchup here in Division II between Tiffin, Columbian, and Wapakoneta. And Ben, this has been a ride to get here for both teams.
Yes.
But before we dig into that, I want to thank you once again for coming on the broadcast.
Oh, what an honor. What an honor it is to be here, just to see this special group of young men for Tiffin, Columbian, and also Wapakoneta. The things that they've been able to accomplish in the weird world that we've lived in have just been awe-inspiring, absolutely awe-inspiring. Looking forward to a great day.
It is going to be a beautiful day for baseball here. We'll talk about the weather report brought to you by Phillips Electric here in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at the keys to the game. Of course, keys to the game brought to you by your friends at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant in the Tiffin Mall. Ben, you're familiar with Xcaret. I mean, I don't have to tell you about it, but I tell everybody about the beautiful new menu that they have out at the restaurant. Have you checked out the new menu yet?
I haven't been there in a while, but I'm a big fan of they've got a cheese burrito with it's super cheesy. It's got the red enchilada sauce. I mean, what a place.
Okay.
What a place.
Yeah, all right. So there you go. Once again, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant in the Tiffin Mall. Check out the new menu. And also, folks, if you're planning your graduation party, they do taco trays, they do nacho trays, all kinds of catering available at Xcaret Mexican Restaurant in the Tiffin Mall. So
you can call them up. They'll give you chips and salsa.
That's right. Absolutely. Let's talk about this game a little bit. Let's talk keys to the game. Now, Tiffin, Columbian, the number one seed in this region here, the Bluffton region, and or the district, I should say, as we're getting here for the district final. Now, these two teams not familiar with each other. They don't play each other very often. There's a distance, let's say, in between these two schools. But in this situation, I don't think familiarity really matters. I think you're deep into the postseason, and even if you knew that team across from you, there's no guarantees in this round of the playoffs. So anything can happen here today. And when you're talking about keys to the game, Ben, what do you think of if you're an opposing coach and you don't know anything about your opponent? What do you think is a key for your team as you go into this matchup?
You know, honestly, I mean, you look at baseball nowadays and it's so many statistics and analytics and everything else. But like most things, it comes down to the basics, you know. Who's going to be able to locate the strike zone a little bit better? Who's going to be able to field? I have a feeling it'll come down to some fielding things and just some missed chances. Who gets to take advantage of those opportunities as they come along during the game? So, you know, both of these teams are pretty well elite when you look at how far they've gotten in Northwest Ohio, where baseball is pretty darn important.
So both of these teams, Wapakoneta, I believe, is the number 2 seed in this district. I'm not positive. Let me check the brackets here. But they're introducing these starting lineups here. Tiffin Columbian will bat first, so they have the top half. So Wapakoneta is the home team today on the scoreboard. Once again, we're here at Bluffton University, home of the Beavers, and you are tuned in to your Legacy Federal Credit Union pregame show. Now, as I mentioned, Ben, let's check on that weather. Now, weather report obviously brought to you by your friends at Phillips Electric. And if you need anything when it comes to Whirlpool, Kenmore, Maytag appliances, stop down and see Tom Phillips first. Tom and Greg Phillips are your first stop when it comes to appliances and any of your appliance needs in the Tiffin area. Right now, 79 degrees, partly cloudy skies, a gorgeous day for baseball.
Absolutely.
And Greg, I know you're down there manning the cameras. We're dealing with some wind on your mic right now, but I do want to check in with you from time to time and also give you thanks for being here today and manning the cameras, but also standing out in the elements as Ben and I, we got a nice little tent over here shielding us from the sun, but you're taking the beating today.
That isn't too bad yet, guys, so hopefully it doesn't get too bad during the course of this game.
I'm in the shade with a Coca-Cola. You know, it's the choice of a new generation. No way, that's Pepsi.
A new generation.
My Wayne's World buying too already.
All right, so once again, your weather report brought to you by your friends at Phillips Electric.
I just think of Phillips Electric. I think of the skills those guys have to have, because think of the range of things they see in a day. You know, there could be something from the 80s and then something brand new, and you got to know how to fix that kind of stuff. That's right.
And most of the time, Greg and Tom, they know exactly what to do.
I know.
And they're not trying to sell you. I went in there looking, I said, I need a new dryer. It's working, but it just doesn't dry my clothes. It's not getting hot. He's like, you don't need a new dryer. You need a new element.
Yeah.
So he goes and he says, hey, take your dryer apart. Bring me this little part. I'll tell you exactly where it's at. Take these screws off. Go up there, find this part. Bring it down to me. I'll test it. I bring it down to him. I test it. Yeah, it's just that little part. $20 fix. Took it upstairs, fixed it myself. And Tom's that kind of guy.
Yeah.
So once again, weather report brought to you by Phillips Electric, and we've got the first pitch coming up here, brought to you by your friends at TPC Food Service. And we're just about done with the pregame show. Once again, thanks to our pregame show sponsor, your Legacy Federal Credit Union. Leading things off for Tiffin Columbian, Gunther Kissel. We'll start things off here for the Tornadoes, and we're underway here at Bluffton Memorial Field.
Gunther Kissel, two-sport athlete for the Tornadoes, all-league, defensive back, phenomenal baseball player as well. Came to us from the Old Fort area in the 8th grade and actually showed up with a broken arm. And, there we go, Gunther.
Kissel gives that one a ride in the left field. Right. But that one's going to be playable for the left fielder, and he camps under it and makes the first out here in the top of the first.
It's a real good swing by Gunther, though.
Let's take a look at our Skycam perspective. Once again, Skycam brought to you by your friends at Reclaim It. Stop down and see Chelsea, Sue, and Karen at Reclaim It, 127 South Washington Street in Tiffin.
The former Larry's Juvenile Shoes.
Now that one in there for a strike, as next up, Bryce Rogo stands in the batter's box. Grant Jolly on the mound today for the Wapakoneta Redskins.
Now, Grant Jolly, I've been told, he can hit 90, and you can see, just from the get-go that control, this is their ace. Wapakoneta has trotted out their ace, just as I'm sure Tiffin Columbian will as well. One of the two Brogos at the plate, a couple of sophomores really starting to get some big-time attention. Minnesota came to take a look at them. Bowling Green State University's offered them scholarships. Just a couple special kids. Oh, mercy.
That one in there for a strike. Jolly drops that one in there.
Yeah, Jolly, I think, came to deal today. I mean, we're very early, but.
Righty-lefty matchup here. Rogo down 0-2 in the count. The pitch. Swing mercy. And a miss. Jolly strikes him out for the second out here in the top of the first.
There's going to be battles, I think, at every single at-bat. Here we go, Carson Malott. Carson Malott grew up around TC baseball. He is TC baseball. He's wearing his dad's former number, if I'm not mistaken, for TC baseball. So let's see what he can do.
That pitch in there for a strike. Jolly seems to be painting the corners here as we start this one out, locating pretty well as we start out here. He's got 2 outs. The 0-1.
There we go.
That one hit well into center field.
He's got a
center fielder retreating, and he'll make the catch.
1-2-3 by Jolly.
And a nice inning there by Grant Jolly as he goes 1-2-3. That'll bring up the Redskins here in the bottom of the first. No score.
I tell you what, Nate, my son's just starting out playing baseball. He's in coach pitch with Big Sticks, which is a program that Kurt Malott has been so instrumental in founding over in Tiffin, working in conjunction with the youth leagues. And just, my son was having trouble figuring out, I struck out twice in the game. Yeah, so do some of the best players in the game. The guy you're facing on the mound is pretty darn good too, and it's one of the most pure things in sport. You got a pitcher and you got a batter, and it's
that's the battle.
It's the battle, and it's a beautiful, beautiful game, which I feel like has lost a little bit of momentum in the American landscape because you think about how big football's gotten.
Oh yeah,
and. I used to be able to name every player in the major leagues, and now I don't know that I could name 30. Or if I did, they'd either be retired or just like Major League, this guy here is dead, type thing. Carson Malott, a left-hander, committed to the University of Findlay. There's one half of the Brogos behind the plate. And I'll be forthright, Nate. Those boys are 2 of the best kids I've ever met. I don't know who I'm talking to unless they got a jersey, and even then I got to double check.
Is that 1 or 17?
Yeah.
Wait. 17 is, that's Bryce. All right. That's half the problem.
And how cool is that there's times where they're a battery. Braden sometimes looks like Oral Hershiser. In fact, I gave him one of my old Oral Hershiser bobbleheads. Called him the Bulldog, and that's where Missy, their mom, went. The mom's a Falcon, played softball for the Falcons after a distinguished career for Mohawk, and just seeing all these second-generation tornadoes, and in the case of Missy Weininger and the Rogos, Mohawk Warriors, Tiffin, Columbian. It's pretty special.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of talent in this area, and a lot of it, like you said, they're younger versions of their parents who dominated years ago here in the area. So,
and there's been times where I've seen the same facial expression on, say, there's a young man, Bradley Willman. He's going to be a sophomore. He's going to be a dude for Columbian. I see the same facial expression I saw on his dad, Eric. 20 some odd years ago, and it's just neat to see. Zach Rodgers going to lead off for the Redskins here.
Playing second base tonight.
Righty-lefty matchup.
First pitch misses inside. Starts him out with a fastball, look like.
And just huge props to the umpires. To make it to this level for them, that's elite, and that they deserve our respect this afternoon for sure.
That one in there for a strike.
I respect him a lot more after that strike call as opposed to the previous one. But, hey, I love it. I love it. What
Absolutely.
a job. What a difficult job. What pressure. I'd have fudged my jockeys several times by now if I were the ump for this game.
That one in there. He paints the outside corner with that one. Malott on the season, .31 ERA, 7-0, District 9 Player of the Year.
.31? That's
45 and 2/3 innings pitched, 65 strikeouts. That one hit right back up the middle for a base hit.
That's a real good at-bat there. That's a real good at-bat by Zach Rodgers.
And Rodgers just saw one that he liked, squared up on it, and sent that one right back up the middle for a base hit. So leadoff runner is aboard here for the Redskins. Bottom of the first, still no score here at Bluffton Memorial Field.
Well, now you got the stress of there's a guy on first, and, what's he going to do? And the whole object of the game is to score runs, and now we've got a runner on base, and now we got a bunt.
And they squeeze a bunt down the third base line. Alzaquani comes off, fields it, and he'll gun it over to first for the first out, but they move the runner over into scoring position now.
Picture perfect on both ends. Wapakoneta did exactly what they wanted to do. Columbian did exactly what they had to do. And we got a runner at second. Beauty of baseball right here, Nate. Nate Dogg and the G-Child. I'm telling you, we're getting sued one of these days.
Hey, Facebook does have copyright infringement algorithms.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So,
yeah, I better not do that. Jeez. I always said me with a live mic might be dangerous.
One out here. Malott's first pitch high. Standing in there now, Braden Goulet.
Both pitchers thus far, and I know it's early and, it's a little warm out here, so they're going to start to get fatigued as the game goes on, but even when they're missing, these guys aren't missing by much.
The 1-0.
Oh, look at that.
Drops that one right in there for a strike. Nice pitch there by Carson Malott.
That's something I've always wanted to work with. I always wanted to, just hang out with people that are knowledgeable, that can tell what kind of pitch is coming just by the angle of the pitcher's hand. That kind of attention to detail is just what floors me. Oh.
That one high.
That was an interesting pitch.
He's trying to get that curveball going.
Yeah.
That one just slipped out of his hand, I think, a little bit.
And,
still trying to find his footing here.
Carson on the deal. Oh, there we
Hit
go.
Right back
up
the middle. Malott looks the runner back to second, and they'll say he's safe at second base.
I get the intent, I really do, but,
he wanted to keep that runner over there.
I get it.
But here's the situation now. You got runners on first and second with just one out.
I feel like you may want to take the higher percentage throw, get that over to first, and then if he tries going for three, then so be it. Take your chances there. But, he kept him at second. We got runners at first and second. And,
double play ball still in play.
Double play ball still in play. Play at any base but home.
The pitcher.
Start him out just a bit outside.
Grant Jolly standing in there now.
Oh, boy, literally pitcher's duel at the plate for the second time because Carson batted last inning.
Malott facing his counterpart here. Lefty-righty matchup. That one in there for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1.
And you got to think of the strategy that went into this with Coach Brandt for Wapak and Coach Malott for Tiffin Columbian. How do you figure out how to get your aces on the mound for when it matters most? And there's times where you've got to use them and you can't, and there's the restrictions. And, oh, look at that.
Oh, what a pitch by Malott. Dropped that one right in there. 1-2 the count now on Jolly.
Yeah, even Grant Jolly's like, boy, you got me there. Like, you can just tell.
It was just a knee-buckling curve right there. Nothing he could have done about that one.
Carson Malott just looks like a ball player. I mean, like the dictionary definition of a ball player. That's about the first time I've seen him. I bet he's wasting that pitch just to kind of.
I think that was a pitch-out situation where he's just looking the runner back.
Just looking to see.
Just making sure they weren't running there.
If it's Carson, and this is, Kurt Malott's son, he's thought of every possible scenario, which may have got him in the previous scenario. But
the 2-2.
Oh, look at that!
Strike three, Cobb! What a pitch by Carson Malott.
Oh, Grant knows it too. He knows it. He knows he's.
You got to get the bat off your shoulder in that situation. That was a hittable ball. He probably could have done something with that one, but instead he watches it go by for a called strike three, and now they got 2 outs with runners at first and second. Big pitch right there by Carson Malott.
Carson short-circuited him. He didn't know what to do.
Runners on first and second with 2 outs. Malott comes set. The pitch. Foul tipped at the plate.
Foul tip. There we go.
Landon Brandt stepping into the batter's box now, the right fielder. Batting left-handed. Lefty-lefty matchup here.
And you can tell, obviously we know all about Tiffin Columbian, but you can tell the Wapakoneta community is here in full force.
Oh, absolutely.
And we have talked to just some of the neatest people. and just the kindest that are just so excited to see their boys doing really amazing things. And there's not a much better place to be than a Saturday afternoon at the ballpark with your family and your friends. It's part of America right there.
America's pastime. 0-1 the count. Malott with a long look at second. Comes set with the pitch.
Oh,
he's got that curveball working right now.
The curve is going.
That's a nasty pitch. And as a batter, it starts out so high, you don't know whether to swing at it or not. No. And I think these guys they're going up there with the mindset, let that curveball go. Spit on the curve, I'm looking for the fastball.
Yeah.
That one hit right to the second baseman. It eats him up, but he fires it over to first, and he gets the out for the final out.
Gets him.
In the bottom of the first.
I am a little worried about...
the runner stepped on the back of Jaden Myers' heel there.
Okay.
As he was coming across the bag, he stepped right on the back of his heel. There's no need for that. There's plenty of bag there. You can go on the right side instead of the left.
No,
I know it's hard.
Bang.
That's a bang play down there, and they were just trying to get that base situation, but that's one thing as a first baseman I remembered, and that was one thing that always stuck out in my memory. As you're trying to stretch for that pick, your Achilles is so exposed in that situation. So I always was really protective over that, and if anybody even came close to my heel, I gave him the dirtiest look, and I just looked him all the way back to the dugout, because it's just baseball. You know, if you're going for first base, you go for the right side, because the left side is the first baseman's side. He's trying to get that pick. He's trying to stretch out as far as he can. So right side's base runner, left side's fielder. That's just etiquette, I guess, is what you want to call it.
Yeah,
so,
one would say.
But that's you know.
It's just one of those
things, man.
The Wapak guy.
I don't think he was trying to hurt him at all. I just think it was a big foot. He got a big old foot stomped down on the base.
Yeah, neither one of them's very happy right now. Like, oh, God, darn it. Apparently they're swearing like old-timey prospectors.
That's right.
Dag
from a balcony.
Yes, yeah. What are those cats' names on the Muppets? Statler and Waldorf.
That's right.
This is the original hecklers.
Leading off the first baseman, number 26,
Jaden Myers, one of the kindest, nicest kids until he gets on the athletic field, and then he's a bulldog. You saw him all throughout basketball season just doing battle with guys 6 inches taller than he was.
All-Ohio last year as a third baseman.
Headed to Mount Union University, play for the Purple Raiders. And I tell you what, Nate, I saw him at a graduation party, and I gave him a nice tap on the shoulder. And I'm exaggerating slightly, but it was like hitting a block of granite. I mean, these kids, they work so hard.
Myers, a .444 hitter on the season.
Oh, what a pitch.
Jolly got that one to go. That was a nice pitch right there. Just froze up Jaden Myers.
Corners and curves today.
Myers with a .554 on-base percentage.
A little low.
And a .762 slugging percentage. That's good for a 1.316 OPS. That's crazy numbers.
Yeah, and his jersey's apparently a smedium because he is just bursting out of that. I mean, these kids just work so hard in the weight room and at their skills. Oh.
Nice pitch there by Jolly. Not much Myers could have done with that one, even if he just swung.
Not a thing.
And that's what you do as a pitcher. You try, if you're going to get that in the strike zone, you don't want him to be able to do anything with it.
Well, young Mr. Jolly is just absolutely terrified to be facing Jaden Myers, because why wouldn't you be? I mean, just like Jaden's, thinking, how am I going to hit this guy? This is their ace, and it's the one-on-one battle that we just keep coming back to.
Myers fouls that one off to the right. Count stays at 3-2.
Jeez. When I first started out, I would do some announcing for Coach Malott, and I shattered my windshield, and that was back when I was subbing and making about $75 a day. And there it comes again. And, going to the grocery store with $20 in my pocket, like, how am I going to be able to eat till Friday? And I had to call Kurt and say, your guy's, busted my windshield. Thank good for Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Oh, Myers draws a walk there. As Jolly, I think, wanted that call there, but it wasn't there. Just on the outside and just missed. So Myers works himself aboard with a leadoff walk.
Oh, Braden Rogo, what a special kid. One of the very first people to send me a text after my mom passed last August. And, that's a sophomore in high school doing that.
That says volumes.
And at least a little outside there by Jolly.
Braden Rogo, a .493 hitter on the season.
My gosh. Also, as you know, 2 years starting quarterback, platooning with Logan Beeston.
That's right.
Two-headed monster for the
Three-sport.
Tornadoes. Three-sport athlete.
Both of them. Dominant in all three sports as well.
Well, I tell you what I really like to see throughout the basketball season is the game wasn't too big for the Brogo brothers.
That's
You know,
right.
They were – oh, mercy.
Swing and a miss there.
Look at that.
Had him out in front of that one. Jolly took a little bit off of that.
Yeah, Grant Jolly is legitimate on every level. You know, just watching him, he is dealing today, and this is going to be a game
Rogo
of
hits that
inches.
one to the
Yep.
shortstop.
Oh,
It
there
eats
we
him
go.
up, and all runners are going to be safe. First and second base now with no outs. And that'll bring up Braden Tucker.
Oh, Braden Tucker. Braden Tucker, one of the hardest working kids that you will ever meet. Just a solid human being, and does whatever is needed out of him. What's his stats on the year, Nate Dogg?
Braden Tucker is he's having a great year for the Tornadoes. That one bunted, but foul. It's a pop foul, goes straight backwards onto the press box. Let's see. Let's look at Braden Tucker's stats on the season. Batting .362 with a .462 on-base percentage. Slugging right around .448. That's good for a .910 OPS. Nice bunt there by Tucker. Lays it down, and the pitcher is going to have to go to first. He's got no other play.
No other
so
options.
Great job by Tucker to lay that one
Braden
down
Tucker
in front of the
does
plate.
his job.
And now we've got runners on second and third with just one out.
Now batting the left fielder, number 21.
Oh, David Auble. David Auble III. Had him in 7th grade. Just a quality young man from a great family, kind of Bloomville royalty. Oh, Lordy, that hit him.
They hit him. Auble wears it. Doesn't even
Does
flinch.
not even.
He said, that feels good.
Oh, boy. Well, Grant Jolly's in a little bit of a jam here.
Bases loaded now and just one out. And up to the plate, Talib Alzaquani.
Now batting the third baseman, number 34, Talib Alzaquari.
Talib Alzaquani,
Batting .237 on the year.
excellent athlete. Does a lot very well for the Tornadoes on the football field. They're going to pop up there.
Pop up first base side. Looks to be playable. And the first
and
baseman
that's 2 outs.
gloves that one. And that's a big out right there for Grant Jolly. And I'm sure Alzaquani's not happy after that one because he swung at that first pitch, and that's what Jolly wanted.
And it got on the inside. And Preston Keckler, as you know, shattered his leg last year, broken tibia and fibula, and he's battled his way back to play baseball his senior year. And here he is in this big-time game, big-time situation, bases loaded, 2 outs.
Nice pitch there by Grant Jolly. Gets that one over for a first pitch strike.
Way to battle back, Grant Jolly. I mean, from what looked like pretty much imminent disaster. Oh,
Keckler.
and still maybe.
And that one's going to drop. It gets down for a base hit. 1 run will score.
That's going to get 2.
And 2 runs will
Preston
score.
Keckler.
Tornadoes lead 2-0 on a 2-out. 2 RBI base hit by Preston Keckler.
My goodness, stand up and salute that kid for what he's battled back from. And regardless of how this game turns out, that's a memory that I'm going to cherish, I think, for the rest of my daggone days because holy chicken. Now we're back at the top of the order. We got Gunther Kissel. Okay, now we got something goofy here with Coach Malott. Coach Malott has everything all set up. Umpires.
That'll bring up Gunther Kissel.
Umpires got everything all squared away, and now we're at Gunther, one of the most natural athletes you'll ever see.
Kissel flied out his first time up. Watches that one go by. First pitch misses for a ball. Grant Jolly almost got himself out of that jam, but Preston Keckler comes through in the clutch there with that 2-out, 2-run RBI single. And that one will advance both runners, second and third now with 2 outs.
Columbian bench is letting them have it.
They are chirping over there.
I'm sure Wapaks will too, and that's part of the beauty of the game. As long as you keep it between the lines, and I feel like these kids know where the lines are.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, sometimes the parents get a little more upset about it than maybe the players do, and I get it. Oh, mercy, what a pitch.
Nice
what a pitch by
there
Grant
by
Jolly.
Grant Jolly.
Jammed him inside. Gunther had 0 shot.
Now Kissel backs off the plate just a little bit. 2 on the count. The pitch.
Oh, mercy.
Misses with
missed.
that one. 3-1 the count now.
It's like artistry watching kids at this level, just battle one another.
Three and 1. The pitch.
Oh, there
Kissel
it is.
down the left field line. That's a fair ball.
There goes Preston.
1 run will score.
There goes Preston.
Keckler rounding third.
Preston
2
Keckler.
runs will score.
2 runs will score. And Gunther
Kissel's down
going to
at
go to
second
second
base.
base.
That's a 2 RBI double for Gunther Kissel. And the Tornadoes open up with a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. Top of the second, I should say.
Coach heading out to the mound for a visit with Grant Jolly.
Well, you know what that means.
Just the breaks of the game. Just the breaks of the game. This is very clearly.
Anytime we have a mound visit, it's what we call a call to the bullpen. And
Call to the
bullpen is brought to you by your friends at Rodgers Flowers.
Oh.
Of course, stop by and see Brian Ferguson today. Pick yourself up a nice hanging flower basket. And, of course, check out their new Swan Creek candle selection. They have some excellent flavors and scents of candles. Stop by Rodgers Flowers today. So, Ben, if you're in this situation, you're the coach here. What do you come out and what do you tell your guy?
Honestly, I think you just tell them that they're still a long way to go, and you just get the kids to keep believing in their abilities. That's part of the problem with human beings in general. You get down on yourself, and you just can't seem to get yourself out of a hole. Now he's got 2 outs, runner on second. Stop the bleeding, and by golly, you get to turn it back. Another Brogo brother here. Oh,
that one skips in.
That fooled him completely.
But he swung at it.
Need a 9-iron for that one.
It is a beautiful day for golfing, though.
I don't have the patience for golf, Nate. I don't know about you. I'm a disc golfer. There's another one. He's pitching him low.
Away.
Oh, look at that.
And
now,
Kissel.
Gunther is just, as I said, one of the most natural athletes you'll ever see.
On top of it right there.
And we taught him to place kick the day before our final game because he got cleared. He'd had a broken hand, and he made it. And it was one of the most exciting moments in a game where Norwalk absolutely destroyed us. It was quite a highlight. There's a foul pitch there. A little foul tip. Bryce staying alive here. Wearing my favorite number 17.
Any reason in particular for that?
Well,
Brian Sipe maybe, or?
I got married on the 17th. Wendell Clark, actually. Wendell Clark, left winger for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh, he almost wore that, too. I was a hockey fan growing up. That kind of replaced baseball as my number 1 sport for a while. And, now I'd say it's football. But with my son getting to play and getting to see all these splendid kids, baseball's making a comeback for me. And this is just so much fun being here today.
This is a situation that the Redskins have not found themselves in yet here in the playoffs.
No.
They have not even allowed a run to this point so far in the OHSAA playoffs. They won their first game 2-0 against St. Mary's, and then they won 3-0 against Salina. So if you're going by that measure,
that's
just foul down the right field line. But if you're going by that measure, they haven't given up a run, but they haven't scored more than 3. So today they're down by 4. This is going to be a tough matchup for them and a tough battle for them to come back here. Not saying it's impossible. You got plenty of time, but this is a situation where it's gut check time. If you're the Redskins, you got to figure out what you're made of here.
It kind of is, and they're well aware of that, and so's their coach and their kids, and there's a walk there. No, it struck him out.
Oh, wow.
Struck him out. Don't say anything.
That's the second time he's nearly hit the batter, and they call it for a strike.
It must have been. I mean, their curves are curving, that's for sure, but Mr. Rogo was a little disappointed, but those kids are just competitors.
Oh, they all are.
Oh my gosh, and they work so hard. I've been texting with them times. It's 10 o'clock at night. They're at Body Works. Working out.
That's right.
with grit, and it's insane how much work these kids put in. It's an inspiration. They're hustlers.
It's a hard-working team, and that's part of that workman's mentality I talk about. They wear those work gloves instead of batting gloves. It's just, they're hard-working kids.
Yep.
Let's take a moment and thank all of our sponsors for bringing you today's broadcast here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, TPC Food Service, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Rodgers Flowers, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Ink, Reclaim It, Molyet's Farm Market and Garden Center, Bookmeyer Printing, and Erin Henschke Photography, all proud sponsors right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Once again, let's take a look at our Skycam perspective, brought to you by your friends at Reclaim It. Speaking of Reclaim It, well, they're not your normal secondhand store. You've been to all the thrift stores. You've been to the big box thrift stores. Even that's weird to say, but it is a thing, you know. It's not like you're going to find anywhere else. Each item is carefully selected for display, from furniture to glassware and so much more. Make them your first stop when looking for that must-have new item in your home. Reclaim It is a nonprofit with a mission to help the community in various ways, including providing furniture to families in need after a fire, displaced veterans, and really any people who've fallen on hard times. Your purchase goes right back into the community that you live in at Reclaim It 127 South Washington Street in Tiffin. Once again, Skycam today brought to you by Reclaim It.
Yeah, what a place. I mean, it's almost got that big city gallery, boutique feel.
Yeah.
And, you know, Karen Klepper just being one of the friendliest people. I've had a couple of students that have done some work there. Mia Peacock, recently graduated senior.
Chelsea talks glowingly about
Oh,
Mia.
what a kid. And there's a pop-up there that's going to go out.
That'll be just out of play.
Directly into the dugout.
Right over there into the tornado dugout.
Waking up Coach Hartenstein, the veteran on the coaching staff. But, I mean, what a cool thing for Coach Malott to bring back Doug Hartenstein. You know, Doug Hartenstein being one of the most successful coaches in Tornado history on the baseball field, and Judd Lutz as well, bringing him back as a defensive backs assistant, and with all of Mr. Hartenstein's experience in administration, just what a valuable member of the staff to go along with Dan Gilbert.
What a pitch by
there.
Carson Malott.
Go along with Dan Gilbert, former wrestling coach.
That had that 12-6
it did.
drop on it.
And then Nick Weber. I mean, the Weber family, they were just, look
Strike
at that.
3 called. What a pitch.
Oh,
He just froze him up right there.
oh, mercy.
Malott's got that curveball working. Started out a little shaky because it was high on him, but now he's found that strike zone with it. Man. And these hitters, they're just spitting on it. They don't want any part of that curveball because they can't do anything with it.
I mean, you've got cartoonish ERA numbers. What, .31?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Strike.
Look at that.
That one in there.
And these are all strikes, and they are all just places the batter can't do a lot with. So you're just going to hope he gets tired and makes a mistake. Ooh,
Just misses with that one. Evens the count at 1-1.
I tell you, the Wapak batters have had tremendous vision looking for the pitches, though. You know, the strikes that they've kept the bat on their shoulders for have been pretty darn good.
Catcher Alex Lewis.
There it is. Yep.
Nice stop by
Nice
Alzaquani.
stop, get
Gets
there,
it down and
It's going to go underneath the
unable
first
to get a
baseman's
good
glove.
throw over to first as Myers had to pick that one out of the dirt, but unable to get that one. Alzaquani he kept it in front of him. He had plenty of time to pick that up and gun it to first, but just was unable to get a good throw over there.
Well, think of the difference a split second makes in baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, just a split second.
Hitter number 4, Caden Seafring.
So now a
Caden
runner on
Seafring
first.
steps up, number 4 for the Redskins.
Nobody out. There's one out here with a runner on first.
The Wapak kids, you can tell, they're outstanding athletes. They all have this very lean look to them. You can see a lot of team speed on the base paths. Great test for the Tornadoes. And 0-1 here, I do believe, or 1-0.
1-0. Missed with the first one.
Carson dealing.
Malott looks the runner at first. The pitch.
Oh,
Swing and a miss. Nice pitch there.
I don't know if he was looking for a curve there, and Carson threw the smoke, and
Just had him a little bit behind that one.
They can't time it up because he has such an arsenal. They just have not figured it out yet. I mean, I have no doubt they might, but
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Caden Seafring
Caden Seafring is a little frustrated right now, and I don't
trying to find some answers.
Yeah. it's got to be just the most frustrating feeling to be this far along and you just can't quite seem to solve the pitcher.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Just a masterpiece.
Malott blows it by him for the strikeout. And that's the second out here in the bottom of the second.
Now batting the left fielder.
That'll bring up Grant Bauer, left fielder.
Looking to get something going with the runner on first here. Wapak down 4-0.
First pitch outside. Might have been a little bit of a pitch out there as they got the runner over there at first. Had a little bit of a lead there.
Yeah, Jaden's keeping him real close over there at first base. I mean, Coach Malott knows the importance of base runners and getting them advanced, and that's just something he's not going to allow to be an easy fix for the Redskins.
Swing and a miss. What a pitch by Carson Malott to even the count at 1-1.
And you're also looking at an all-league catcher back there, who there's a good chance he's going to gun you down if you go. We'll see. We'll see what they're thinking. Oh, look at that.
Oh, what a pitch.
Look at that.
Drops that one right in there. 1-2 the count. Wow. Well, he is just filthy today.
Oh, yeah. And he's unconscious. Still runner on first, a slight lead. Doesn't seem to have any inclination to go.
Grounded
That's
right back to the
middle.
pitcher. Malott fields and throws to first.
That'll do
and
it.
That's the final out here in the bottom of the second. We head to the top of the third. 4-0, Tiffin Columbian, your score.
Tiffin Columbian enjoying the perks of a 4-0 lead here, and you're able to kind of change your strategy a little bit as to what you want to do. And now they've got an opportunity to add to that. I believe we have, really there aren't a whole lot of holes in the batting order for the Tornadoes.
Oh, they are 1 through 9. I'm telling you, they can attack you at all different angles, and they're streaky because once they get going, it seems like they feed off of each other. One guy will get a hit, the next guy behind him gets a double, the next guy behind him gets a hit, and then the next thing you know, they're stringing together hits and just putting the pressure on the pitcher. Let's take a look at that Skycam, once again brought to you by your friends at Reclaim It. Not quite a Skycam because it's more behind the catcher today, as we couldn't quite get it up. But we're working on that, as right now in my cart on Amazon is a 20-foot tripod. Yes, that's right, a tripod that extends up to 20 feet high. And I'm hoping that after the playoffs,
you're a tripod.
After the playoffs, I'll be able to fund that with the sponsor money that's coming in. And for football season, we'll have some pretty cool stuff. Let's just say that. I'm pretty excited about football season. But hey, this has been a fun ride here with baseball. Our first season broadcasting high school baseball. And I'll tell you what, folks, it's been a blast.
Well, just to
we're
be
not
able to
ready
have
to be
the
done yet.
technology to do this, just to have this opportunity, because think of all the folks that still, we're still in the midst of a pandemic, and we've got family members that aren't comfortable being around crowds, even outside. There's other folks there with other health issues, and they get to see this streamed directly into their home.
That's right.
For free, because of the generosity of all the local sponsors that we've been trying to put over. Because you talked about Tom Rodgers. I remember the original Tom Rodgers when he owned Marvin's, and that was the type of guy.
Man, you want to talk about a place that I miss?
Yeah.
Oh.
And just a guy who was doing the right thing for kids.
They had the best cold meat sandwiches out of any place in town.
Yes, they did. But Carson Malott's going to lead off for the Tornadoes. Let's see what he can do with the bat. We've already seen the filthiness he's got on the mound this afternoon. Oh, look at that eye. Just the vision of these players is just, it's spectacular.
Grant Jolly on now for his third inning of work here in the top of the third. That one low. 2-0 the count to Carson Malott. Of course, we told you Malott's pitching numbers, but on the season as a hitter, he's had quite a season as well. 359 batting average on the season, 494 on base percentage. That means, he's got a good eye at the plate. 12 walks, 21 runs scored, and 19 base hits on the season. And four straight pitches. He draws the leadoff walk, and that'll put a guy at first with nobody out here in the top of the third.
Now batting the first baseman, number 26, Jaden Myers.
That'll bring up Jaden Myers.
The Bulldog. The Rock, as his mom tells me. His teammates call him the Rock. Just the respect that his teammates had for him on the basketball court with everything he did for that team. And that's Grant Jolly's running into some problems with control.
Jolly starting out with 5 straight balls here to start the top of the third.
Take some deep breaths, young man. But what a moment for these kids and the pressure on these kids. And you know, we can sit and pick apart their performance all we want, but that ain't us up there. You know, I'd be on the mound in the fetal position, weeping loudly at this juncture. And this
the game's
kid's out
not
there
made for
battling.
us.
No, it is not. And Jaden with a Texas Leaguer, I believe those are called, those little hoppers off the plate.
That's right. 2-1 the count on Jaden Myers. Runner down at first base. Nobody out here in the top of the third. 4-0 Tiffin Columbian here at Bluffton University Memorial Field.
Oh,
that one well hit. Left field. Back. It's going to hit off the wall.
And that's going to score
Malott's
Carson.
going to round third. He's heading for home, and that'll be the 5th run scored in the game for Tiffin Columbian.
Look at the power. Look at the power from Jaden Myers there. And he's getting rid of the work gloves. And it looks like we're going to have a visit to the mound here.
That's going to bring the coaching staff out to the mound. Looks like we'll get a pitching change here as Grant Jolly is done for the day. So 2 innings pitched for Jolly. The books closed on him with 5 earned runs here. I don't know if actually one of them might be an unearned run there. The last inning, I think they did have an error on that. So possibly an unearned, but I know at least 4 earned runs there for Jolly as they've squared up on him pretty well here, and that's probably the reason for the pitching change here is they want to keep this, controllable, keep it a 5-run game if they can here. And pitching change being made here.
Once you lock on, I mean, once batters seem to be locked on, it doesn't matter if you're Randy Johnson, Denton True, Cy Young.
That's right.
Kurt Schilling, Roger Clemens, the Rocket, which, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Speaking
I'm one
of
those
Rodgers,
guys.
That's right. All of our Call to the Bullpens brought to you by your friends at Rodgers Flowers. Ben, as you're sitting here, we see young Taylor Eccles coming in as the replacement pitcher, coming in from shortstop to take the place of Grant Jolly. What do you tell your guy as he comes into this situation? You've got a guy on first, nobody out, facing a 5-run deficit. Rock and fire, take it easy. Don't think anything of it.
Have some fun and do what you can. And that's all you can do. Have some fun and do what you can. Obviously, the game's not going quite the way Wapak wants at all at this juncture. And, it's pretty cool. Coach has the ability to go to a shortstop and, hey, get us out of this. And I guarantee you the kid cheering hardest for him right now is Grant Jolly.
Runner down at second, nobody out.
Excellent pitch.
Nice pitch there by Eccles.
That's a great way to start out by Eccles there. I just froze Rogo up there.
Braden Rogo gets a hold of that one, and it's going to be right to the right fielder who camps under it and squeezes it for the first out here in the top of the third.
That's a great start for young Mr. Eccles there, coming in, getting the pop out. Right fielder comes in and gets the throw in and cuts the guy to second. I mean, I don't know if Jaden Myers is going to be stretching for third, but mercy.
That one inside.
Braden Tucker here, B-Tuck. Very rare that I'm jealous of anyone's beard, but that kid's beard is on point. Another Texas Leaguer there. They're getting out in front of a couple of – they haven't timed up Mr. Eccles yet.
That's what Jaden Myers did right before he laced a double down the left field line.
Yep.
So we'll see.
We'll see. And it's going to be just a little bit outside there.
2-1 the count now as – the scoreboard says 3-0, but he fouled one off, so it's definitely 2-1 the count.
Yep, there we go. Oh.
And that one fouled at
tip.
catcher.
Braden wants that one back. Yeah, you can tell he's a little frustrated with himself. You got a runner on second here with Jaden. Jaden's a phenomenal athlete. Anything that's going to be hit out down the corner, going to be probably getting him in cross home plate.
2-2 the count on Braden Tucker. 1 out. Jaden Myers down there at second base.
I remember Braden in the 8th grade for football. You know, he was just one of those kids that came in and didn't say a lot, but just worked his way up the depth chart. A little high there by Eccles.
Misses with that one.
Just kept working his way up the depth chart, and by the end, he's starting at 2 positions.
You got to wonder if maybe the Redskins might have used their ace yesterday as that would have been on yesterday, because Braden Goulet was the pitcher of record yesterday. Went 7 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, no earned runs, just 1 hit. He's 6-0 on the season. So you got to wonder if maybe they used their ace a little too early.
Well,
as Braden Tucker draws the walk.
You got to win a game. You got to win a game.
Yeah, absolutely. You could be right there. They just needed to win that game.
Couple runners on here. David Auble coming to the plate.
And with Goulet going that complete game, of course he wouldn't be eligible to pitch today.
Yeah. That's difficult. That goes back to the strategizing and with the coaches, and sometimes there's just circumstances, especially when you get to this point. You don't get to reschedule because somebody's got a sore arm, or somebody's been used with a allotted amount of innings. That's going to be outside there.
Gets away from the catcher, but the runners will stay at first and second.
Jaden thought strongly about it for a minute. Braden Tucker can move very well. I mean, so can Jaden. As muscular as he is, he can get going. He could get going up and down the court in basketball.
Oh, Auble's going to hit that one. It's going to be trouble right field. It's going to drop for a base hit.
Jaden
looks like bases will be loaded now. Jaden Myers is going to push.
Look at that.
And he will score from third on the error. That'll be an error on the shortstop there, as he just was not able to field that throw.
And a heads up by Coach Malott sending Jaden, and you can just see Jaden coming down the line, how much this moment means to all these kids. Talib Al-Zaquani up to bat here.
Now runners at first and second. Still 1 out for Talib Al-Zaquani.
If they're looking for a fundraiser, they ought to do a hair of Tiffin Columbian baseball. I mean, my goodness, these boys have flow.
6-0 Tornadoes. That pitch inside.
Oh,
and they're going to say it hit him. No, they're going to say a balk.
Oh, boy, things are not going well for Wapak right now.
Oh, wow. So he must have stepped off before he pushed off for the pitch. I've seen that called a couple times this year, but not very often. Must have been something that maybe the third base coach saw, maybe pointed it out to the umpire, because you saw the third base ump make that call, and then the home plate umpire confirmed it. So it might have been something where that third base coach saw it, made something known to the umpires there, and they made the call.
It's gamesmanship. You think back
That's right.
You think back to Mike Vrabel and Bill Belichick and that chess match.
A
couple years back. And Talib's got the speed to beat this.
And that's going to be right past the shortstop. Another run will score for the Tornadoes. Now they'll have runners at first and third with 1 out. And 7-0 Tiffin Columbian, your score.
And Wapak will keep battling, because that's what these kids do. But sometimes when you fall off the wagon, you keep rolling right on down the hill.
7-0 Tiffin Columbian. They've plated 3 here in the top of the third.
Game open. See if he can do it again.
Preston Keckler got the scoring going early with a 2 RBI base hit.
I have to believe Talib's a threat to take second at any time here.
Pitch outside. Looks like they were maybe expecting the runner to be off in that situation.
It's like Hayes out to a huge lead now. That's what I'm thinking with Talib over there. I mean, you can tell he's got his eye on second. And if Preston gets a hold of one like he did last time, that's 2 more runs.
Are we trying to play a game here? How many major league references we can get in?
Yes.
Before
there it goes. Oh!
Throw down to third.
Okay.
And Auble back in safely. Runner down to second now as Al-Zaquani takes off.
Well, I'm sure that's another instance of excellent scouting by the Wapak coaching staff. You're not going to get Talib Al-Zaquani with the lead he had in that situation. So see if you can get David sleeping down there at third. But David wide awake. Oh,
Swing
mercy,
and
what a
miss.
pitch.
Nice pitch by Eccles there.
What a pitch.
As he throws
He
it by
needed that.
Preston Keckler. 2-1 the count now on Keckler. 1 out. Runners at second and third.
Oh, another
Swing
excellent
and a
pitch.
miss. I think he actually got a little piece of
He
that
did,
one.
just a hair.
2-2 the count.
I believe that's our buddy Lou over there who called out the helpful advice.
That's right.
I tell you, like I said,
Yeah,
this,
we had a great conversation with him before the game. Just
they
a great
don't-
fan base over
just
here
a
with the
great fan
Wapakoneta
base.
Redskins.
You know, I'm
And they are coming
semi-familiar
out
with
in
the area.
full support today, Ben. Look at all the red over here.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just, I mean, a lot of people here to support both teams.
And Preston right
Keckler
back up
right
the
back
middle.
up the middle.
He's going to stab it. That's not going to matter.
Yeah, that another run will score.
They just cannot buy a break right now. Wapak.
Another fielding error on the Redskins.
And now we've got Gunther at the plate.
That's the center fielder, number 15, Gunther Kissel.
And now 8-0 Tiffin Columbian is the score. And the Tornadoes with just the approach of, hey, put it in play. That's the whole approach we've seen today from Tiffin Columbian. And so far, it's worked pretty well. 8 runs on the board for the Tornadoes. And Gunther Kissel at the plate. Runners at first and second, just 1 out. Actually, runners at first and third, I should say.
Runners at the corners. Outstanding pitch right at the knees there. Fooled Gunther Kissel completely, I do believe.
And inside with that one, 1-1 the count.
They do seem to be wanting to jam the Columbian hitters. That the corners and the inside seem to be the game plan, but TC's able to take advantage of the pitches they like, and I got no doubt a lot of that comes from the superb coaching they get. I mentioned Coach Weber, part of the staff. I believe all 3 of his brothers are pretty involved in coaching. He's got a brother who coaches at Roger Bacon High School. His brother Jeff, assistant and head coach all around Northwest Ohio, and here's Greg out here, lending his skills. It's pretty rad. 2-2 here, I do believe. Oh,
Kissel
mercy.
laces this one into left field, but looks to be playable.
Got a beat on it.
And the runner tags
He's
from
gonna
third.
tag, and we're gonna have
Al-Zakwani
a
is going to score the
score
9th
standing
run
up.
of the game for the Tornadoes.
Did exactly what he needed to do. Gunther there driving in another run. Bryce Rogo up.
And now a runner at first with 2 down.
Second baseman, number 17, Bryce Rogo.
Tornadoes have plated 5 in this inning, 4 in the second. They now lead 9-0. Bryce Rogo standing in the batter's box now. Second baseman for the Tornadoes today.
Tornado hitters have been extraordinarily patient today, and I think that's taken a toll on the Redskins.
Rogo
For sure.
had an excellent game the other day against Ontario. 4 innings pitched. He did strike out just 1 batter, but he guided the ship throughout that game, just allowed 2 runs and gave them 4 steady innings. Allowed them to save Carson Malott for this game today. That one in there for a strike. 2-1 the count now.
I think even the umpire needed a minute to think about that one. That was a pretty darn good pitch, but could have gone either way. But the strike zone's been consistent the whole time. And there's another one outside. Catchers are doing a phenomenal job of framing. There's that number. Who do they have behind the plate there for the Redskins?
I believe that is Alex Lewis, number 14.
Yeah, Alex Lewis has done a tremendous job. Just trying to help his pitchers out.
That was
another
low,
one.
and Rogo draws a walk with 2 outs.
My wife was a catcher, and you forget how important they are to the rhythm and the flow of the game, and how they're, it's not much of a surprise that Braden Rogo's behind the plate. QB1, and there he is, behind the plate as well. Now we got Carson here again.
They batted through the order now here.
They have. Taylor Eccles, it's going to be 1-0 here.
The 1-0 from Eccles. Malott hits that one into right field.
It's got a
Looks to
beat
be
on
playable.
it, though.
Right fielder camps under it and squeezes it for the final out.
And that inning will be over for the Tornadoes, but it was a costly one for the Redskins. And, they're going to have to really find some answers at the plate, but how do you find answers against a guy with a sub .5 ERA? I mean, what?
Yeah. They're searching for answers right now.
You got to hope he has a sneezing fit in mid curveball type scenario here.
Once again, bottom of the third coming up. The Redskins coming up to bat now as Carson Malott comes on for his third inning of work here at Bluffton University Memorial Field. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins and Ben Gillig on the call. We've got Greg Kinn manning the cameras up there along the third base side, and he is on top of the dugout today, folks. Yes, that's a great view you got up there, Greg, as people are getting a treat today. Normally, we can't get the best view because high school fields are really well protected, and rightfully so. They should be. A lot of netting, not a lot of cages around the field. This one, a little bit more open and accessible for cameras because it's a college facility. Obviously, we like to think that they maybe planned it that way a little bit, but it's a gorgeous facility here at Bluffton University Memorial Field, and we couldn't thank the university and the staff here enough for their hospitality and graciousness, allowing us to be set up in such a great location here for today's game, Ben.
And the playlist has been absolute fire. I mean, you heard me earlier. There happened to be a Brian Fallon song, Brian Fallon being lead singer of the Gaslight Anthem, and I'm up here singing, and there's kids that I had in 7th grade walking by looking at me like, what is this lunatic doing now? But oh, man, like just the whatever station he had it on or whatever playlist, Chef's Kiss, Magnifique, Bluffton University. Absolutely. What
Somebody's
a great
on fire
place.
up there.
Yeah. And then there's Greggy over there. I mean, Greg Kinn deserves the dang world. He's a prince amongst peasants like me. He's setting all this up, and we get to be out here doing major league references, and he's over there on top of the dugout. I don't think he brought any sunscreen. He's roasting.
That's all right. Greggy's got that, peanut butter golden skin. He's working on his tan.
Peanut butter golden skin. My goodness.
Let's take a moment to thank our sponsors for bringing you today's broadcast. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, TPC Food Service, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Rodgers Flowers, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Inc., Reclaim It, Molyet's Farm Market and Garden Center, Bookmeyer Printing, and Erin Henschke Photography. Malott gets us underway here in the bottom of the first with a first pitch strike.
I mean, they really need Zach Rodgers. They just need a break, just a timely hit here and there, and that's going to be it.
That's it right there.
Zach Rodgers doing exactly what his team needed him to do, and what a way to step up. What a way to step up.
Rodgers works himself on board with a leadoff base hit.
Pitcher Tyler Eccles now at the plate.
Number 1, Taylor Eccles.
Taylor Eccles standing in the batter's box.
I've got Tyler Eccles, but we got
They're
different
missing
things.
An A.
Or is this like a Scooby-Doo type scenario?
That one laced foul.
Oh, mercy. That
down
was
the right side. That's right on somebody's umbrella.
Right off the umbrella.
Actually, I think there's a little bit of fencing in the way there, so I'm not sure if that actually did hit off the umbrella or not. I don't know
if Coach Hartzell's retrieving the ball. Okay.
All right, I think we're good.
He was moving pretty quickly there, and when you see athletic administrators moving quickly, look at that.
And a miss. What a pitch by Carson Malott. He's on one today. He's out there dealing.
I tell you, Coach Hartzell must really like baseball season better because you know how many times he has to walk up and down those stairs at football, and he's just sucking wind.
Eccles fouls that one.
The Redskins came to battle. There's Mr. Eccles there. He's still battling, and that's all you can do against Carson is just try to extend the at bat, try to find a pitch that you like.
The 0-2.
Oh, look at that. Okay,
He doesn't get the call there.
Miss.
That one just misses on the inside. But there, as you just said, if I'm Eccles, there's nothing I can do with that. I'm not swinging at that because you're just going to tie me up and make me look foolish.
Yeah.
Good eye there from Eccles 1-2 the count now. Malott fires over to first, runner back without a slide.
Yeah, just to kind of, just give the batter a little extra time to think about things. Make the other guy expend some energy over there at first.
Swing and a miss. Malott punches him out for the first out here in the bottom of the third.
One down, runner on first.
Now batting the center fielder, number 10, Braden Goulet.
Braden Goulet, who pitched a dominant outing yesterday.
You want to talk about a gem? 7 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 1 hit, no earned runs yesterday for Goulet. Just a dominant performance as he grounds that one third base side. Al-Zaquani gloves and throws to first. What a play by Talib Al-Zaquani to get the runner, as that was a nice hustle out of the box there by Goulet. He made it a nice bang-bang play at first, but Al-Zaquani with a nice charge in there. Didn't wait for it. Charged right in, gloved it, and fired it over for the out.
Just how instinctual the kids get at this level. I'm looking at the players that haven't made an appearance yet for the Tornadoes, and there are some phenomenal athletes that for Tiffin Columbian don't wind up seeing a whole heck of a lot of the field.
Yeah.
Just because where do you find a weak spot in the lineup?
Nice pitch by Malott. Drops that one in there for a first pitch strike to Grant Jolly, who started out this one as the pitcher for the Redskins.
Carson really making him think about it down there. Oh,
And
did he go?
Yeah, he did go.
He did, yeah.
0-2 the count now on Grant Jolly.
His handcuffs. It's like they're going up there in handcuffs. And it ain't nothing they're doing wrong. It's just Carson is that locked in right now. And you combine that with the offensive onslaught, it's going to be very hard for the Redskins to overcome this.
Pitch out there as Malott fired that fastball, but he didn't want to give Jolly anything to swing at there. He just wanted to show him the fastball. I think that's playing with the speeds with these hitters. Show him the fastball and then drop that curve in there.
I swear, other than the leadoff single that they got, I don't know if anybody's gotten too great of a swing on many of Carson's pitches. Just can't get the bat on the ball very well. There it is.
There's a nice
but it's hit right at the shortstop. Braden Tucker's going to fire across, and that's going to do it for the Redskins.
That'll be the final out here in the third inning. Redskins get a runner on, but they are unable to get him home. We head to the top of the fourth inning.
With no errors and 1 left on base.
Still 9-0 Tiffin Columbian. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Nate Mullins and Ben Gillig joining you live once again from Bluffton University Memorial Field. A gorgeous facility. If you got a chance to catch the pregame, Greg did a great job of putting together a little montage of some footage that he was able to capture as we got here. And if you're able to watch the broadcast back, I wasn't able to talk a whole lot about what you were watching, but once again, this is the site of the Bluffton baseball team that tragically perished in an accident in 2007, and our own Tommy Hall was actually attending this university at that time when that went down. He actually talks about it to this day still. Every time the memorial comes around, every time that anniversary date comes around, he shares a post about it, and it obviously means very much to him because he shared a bond with some of the people that were on that team, and it's a devastating circumstance that happened for this school, but they've done a great job of memorializing these students in a beautiful memorial over there. All the students that perished in the accident are over there memorialized, and they've dedicated the field in memorial. So it's just an absolutely beautiful facility over here. And if you get a chance, once again, check out the montage that Greg put together in the pregame after we're done here.
Well, that would have been like losing a part of your heart for this campus, and it still is because of the lives that never got the chance to be. That's one of the hardest things, which is why it's so amazing to see how they've chosen to honor their memory for
Yeah.
something that meant so much to them, obviously, as collegiate athletes. Jaden Myers leading off for the Tornadoes. Still trying to pitch the Tornadoes inside.
Taylor Eccles on for his second inning of work now. Myers standing in there. Tees off on that one, but sends it straight into center field. And the center fielder makes the play for the first out.
You know, really tip of the cap to Taylor Eccles. You know, it's still relatively early, but he's come in and he's done everything that was needed of him.
That's absolutely right.
And, you know, with the circumstances being as they are, you know, could wind up being a tough afternoon at the office for the Redskins. But by golly, they're still battling. And there's still a long way to go. We've seen crazier things happen.
I'll bring up Braden Rogo as he swings and misses at that one out in front.
Yeah, he's had tornado hitters a little bit fooled.
Eccles with the off speed there.
Yeah. Oh, man, look at that.
Inside, but he gets the call. 0-2 the count. The 0-2 from Eccles. Inside and low.
Still pitching him inside, and that's given.
You don't want to give these hitters much of a chance to extend.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys got some pop in
Well,
their bat.
think of how strong these guys are. Like we said, you know, these guys are practically chiseled out of granite. That's going to be outside there. Mr. Rogo helpfully tosses the ball back. Says,
if I'm the
"Let's do this
pitcher,
again."
I throw that back. Say, I don't want that ball. Give me a different one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if the next one's in his ear. Nope.
That's exactly why I would have thrown that ball back. I don't want that one. You touched it. No, I don't want it.
Oh, that was an alpha move right there. Oh.
Runner on first now with one out for Braden Tucker.
Number 3, Braden Tucker. Little brother Quentin's on the team. You know, that's Columbian baseball. Big brothers and little brothers. And in this case, with the Brogos twins, the Aubles, you know, there's a lot of similar names. And, oh, boy, if that's Braden, that's going to be tough for them to get him.
They got no play.
No,
yeah,
none.
he waited too long. Third baseman tried to go to second at first, but there was no play there. And by that time, Tucker hustling out of the box beat that throw down. And now you got runners at first and second with just one out.
Young little Mr. Weber, the manager for the Tornadoes, going out there. And I tell you, I took my boys over during an inter-squad scrimmage, and you just got a whole bunch of servant leaders on the Tornadoes. They looked out for my sons as though they were little brothers. And, oh, boy, that's going to be – nope, they're going to call it foul.
Foul at the plate.
Are they tapping? Nope, that's ours. The wind a few times has made me just a skosh nervous for the tent that the good folks of Bluffton have graciously provided for us, but it's holding its own. Oh, another inside pitch there. They're consistent.
Evens the count at 1-1.
That's going to be out of play.
And somebody made a nice play
Yeah.
over there.
The crowd popped huge over there on the Columbian side.
The 1-2.
Oh, and there they go. Runner
Behind
goes.
the catcher,
Oh,
gets
my.
all the way to the backstop. Runners will advance down to second and third.
I mean, everything about Braden Rogo just says swagger, but he puts in the work to back it up, and it's just what a kid. I mean, I remember his freshman year, Steve Price turning and looking at me. So we got the pitch here. It's going to be outside.
Nice
Nice
job
stop
there
there
by
by
the
the
catcher. Yeah, absolutely. Nice job to keep that in front of him.
But I can't remember the game, but I remember Steve Price turning to me and saying, "Did you just see Rogo lift off the safety on that?" And it was a touchdown pass, and like, holy jeez, that's a freshman.
Yeah.
And there's another low
And
one,
that
and now
one's
things
low.
are not going well for Wapak. And I think Taylor Eccles is a little shook up, and here comes the coach on the way to the mound.
I think we'll have a pitching change here as bases are now loaded. with one out.
Base is full of tornadoes.
Talib Alzaquani coming up to the plate here. And that will indeed be a pitching change. Call to the bullpen, of course, brought to you by your friends at Rodgers Flowers. Make sure you stop down and see Brian today. Once again, we told you about their Swan Creek candles. But, Ben, the one thing I love about Rodgers, you talk about if you've got a significant other, or if you've got just a mom or somebody that you love and you want to do something special, there's no better place to start than to stop at Rodgers Flowers. They have delivery service that I think a lot of people don't know about. I took advantage of this a long time ago, where you can literally buy flowers, the beautiful flower arrangements they have available there at Rodgers Flowers, and then you can have it delivered to your significant other, your special lady, at work.
I'll be darned.
And you could be the hero in the workroom. I'm telling you, folks, there's a lot of different advantages to stopping and shopping with a local flower shop as opposed to going to those big box stores and just finding the first flowers you see. Brian's going to walk you through the process, and he's going to help you out, and he'll pick you out something nice that your special someone will remember forever.
And even on the other end, the care that they provide for all the funerals where they provide floral arrangements, and the fact that they laughed along with me and my sister when we went in, and they talked about supply chain issues like everyone else, and we wanted yellow because yellow was my mom's favorite color, and they said, well, we're not sure what we'll be able to get, but we're going to try this arrangement. So of course I make the joke like, use your dandelion and cactus, and thankfully they almost fell out of their chairs, and it's like these guys are all right, and all the decor options in there. Brian's expanded into the tuxedo game. He's told me that he's going to have to special order enough X's for me. We go to the boat store and get the material that he's going to need to outfit this big hunk of beef. Oh, mercy. Talib Alzaquani with the bases full of tornadoes, and my public career likely over, and we're just having a ball here at Memorial Stadium here in beautiful Bluffton, Ohio. It's going to be outside there, high and outside. On the mound for the Redskins, Grant Bauer
comes in from left field to take the place of the pitcher.
Nice tall kid. It's going to be difficult for the Tornadoes to pick up on the trajectory, and he's throwing some smoke too.
Misses with that one. 2-0 the count.
And just, all the respect in the world to their pitcher right now, because this is not an ideal situation. And here he is being asked to do this. And, sometimes we get charged up during games, but we just think about, it's amazing what these kids are able to do with the pressure that's on them. Oh, good pitch. Excellent pitch there.
He needed that one, down 3-0 in the count.
Yes, he did.
Now 3-1 on Alzaquani.
And Talib's going to be locked in here. That's going to be outside, and that's going to walk in. It's going to walk in a tornado.
So that'll be the 10th run of the ball game.
Braden Tucker was literally standing at shortstop on the last pitch there.
And that's dangerous territory for the Redskins now, because 10 runs means if they can't scratch across the run here in the bottom of the fourth, they've only got 2 innings to get some runs before this one's over.
Now we got Preston Keckler up. Preston Keckler again earlier in the contest broke the game wide open with a 2-run shot. I believe that was directly to center field, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see if he can do it again. That's going to score at least 2 if he can do it again.
That pitch outside, 2-0 the count now on Keckler. Bauer has come in, and 7 out of his first 8 pitches have been for balls. Keckler hits that one. It's going to be into right field, but playable. Looks to be playable anyway for the right fielder. That's going to drop. And it does drop for a base hit.
Play at the plate.
He'll be safe at the
Braden
plate. Tucker slides in safely head first.
Outstanding base running by Braden Tucker. I mean, just a phenomenal throw. Great job by the catcher, and Braden just beat it.
Bases stay loaded. 11-0 now your score. Tiffin Columbian all over the Redskins.
Got the Kissel at the plate. We're still full of tornadoes. And Wapak's just looking for answers now. Just looking for answers, and
It's got to be a frustrating day here.
it does.
High with that
High.
one. Catcher does a nice job snagging that one out of the air. Alex Lewis has done a really outstanding job behind the plate
Yes,
here
he
today.
has.
You know, for everything that they've went through, being down 11-0, and that young man's played a heck of a ball game. Once again, right there, framing it for his pitcher, getting that called strike. 1-1 the count now. Nice job by Bauer getting that one after falling behind here. Now Kissel hits this one. Elevator shaft right to the pitcher, and he
That's
comes
gonna
over
be
to
caught.
make the play. Bauer for the second out of the inning. Bases stay loaded. That'll bring up Bryce Rogo. Let's take a look at our Skycam, brought to you by your friends at Reclaim It.
I knew I liked Bryce Rogo when I had a photo of an old Royal Rumble, and he named about every single wrestler in there. I was like, look at this kid. This is the throwback. Oh, mercy. If he
Just
straightens
foul.
that out a little, that's going to plate at least 2 tornadoes.
Rogo just a little bit out ahead of that one. Just got a little anxious. He saw the pitch he
Little
wanted.
anxious.
He's like, yeah, give me that.
Well, the ball looks like a beach ball for the tornadoes right now.
Sometimes it
And
does.
sometimes it looks like a pinprick.
Rogo fouls this one back.
And
That's
it's
gonna go
into
out
the
of play.
pine trees.
0-2 the count on Bryce Rogo. Bases loaded, 2 down.
Working with an advantage here, so I would bet next one's either going to be a little high or a little outside, see if we can get him to chase. Oh, look at that curve.
Nice
look at that
pitch.
curve. Well
What
done.
a pitch.
Well done, young man. What a pitch.
Grant Bauer gets out of a jam there.
And
Just 2
Bryce
runs
knows it,
allowed.
too. Bryce knows it. Bryce is just, he's going back and he's just kicking himself. He was bested right there.
Nice pitch there by Bauer to get out of the jam with just 2 runs scored. But Tornadoes plate 2 more. They take an 11-0 lead into the bottom of the 4th right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks for tuning in here on the Pulse of the Buckeye State. Nate Mullins and Ben Kinn joining you live once again from Bluffton University
That's the second time
Memorial
you've done that.
Field.
You've called me Ben Kinn, and you've turned me
Hey,
into one of the. You've
Ben
created,
Kinn.
You've
We've
created,
created
one
a
of the
new
greatest-
personality.
One of the greatest combinations of wrestling knowledge and
I'll
the
get it
ability
eventually.
to the ability to consume entire AJ's jumbos in one sitting. My wife said today, she said, Ben, you used to eat sometimes like you didn't think you had another meal coming in your lifetime. I said, you are exactly right. But, God, think about it. We've got a Murderer's Row locally, and I'll probably say a non-sponsor and you'll fire me. But, I mean, geez, you can go to a different local restaurant for every meal of the week and probably...
You can name any of the ones on this list. I don't have a
Hey,
problem
there
with
we
that,
go.
you know?
Let me see the list. This is what happens when you skip rehearsal. Well, I mean, MST, I mean, look at that place and look at what they're doing. You know, Chase is just one of the biggest hustlers I think I've ever seen. Xcaret, you know, kind of one of the last scions of the Tiffin Mall. They're still there. They're still making it go in a place that the elements have deteriorated, over the years. And then TPC Food Service, you think of all the cool things they do. I think they're one of the #1 distributors of soft serve ice cream, possibly in the state, if not the country.
Wow.
They've added on.
That's a new fact I did not know
yeah.
about TPC.
They've added on. They purchased the old General Electric plant. You and I would know it as Atlas.
Yeah.
But we heard our grandparents talk about General Electric and how important it was to the city. They purchased that, and they're making cheese over on Wall Street now. Just all these cool things happen in Tiffin and
Carson Malott.
Jeez.
Starting out with a first pitch strike to Landon Brandt.
I have a feeling the Redskins, it's going to be a quiet ride home for the Redskins. Oh, mercy.
Strike 2. Malott drops that one in a bucket.
Sometimes you run into a buzzsaw. We've talked about this before, especially when you get into the playoffs.
Strike 3
Mercy.
called.
Oh, mercy.
Brandt doesn't believe it, but man, that was a nice pitch by Carson Malott. Just froze him up on the outside corner. That's the first out here in the bottom of the 4th.
now batting the first baseman, number 24, Austin West.
Here we go. Here we go. Austin West to the plate. Carson Malott dealing. Oh, and it starts out. It looks like it's coming right for his head.
Oh,
and
I know.
It barely misses the strike zone.
And that was close, let me tell you.
Yeah.
1-0 the count. Slow dribbler right to the
Short
pitcher.
chopper.
Underhands to first for the second out.
Jeez.
And Malott making short work of the Redskins lineup here in the bottom of the fourth. Now 2 outs here. And up to the plate, the catcher,
Up next, the catcher,
Alex Lewis.
Alex Lewis.
Lewis has played a heck of a game so far here today behind the plate.
Yeah, just so much respect to Wapakoneta for coming out here and they're still battling and there's still baseball to be played, and yeah, it does look bad. You know, let's be quite frank, but they're still out there. They're still scratching. They're still getting good quality at bats. They just can't seem to get the bat on the ball for Carson.
Strike 2.
Oh,
Boy, Malott
my.
is just firing right now.
Well, you can see why he went over to the University of Findlay and why Coach Palm, with College of Worcester graduate just like me.
You know now why he's the District 9 Player of the Year.
Yeah, you do. And there's Al Zaquani, just as smooth.
1, 2, 3. Down they go in the bottom of the fourth. Carson Malott making short work of the lineup as we head to the top of the fifth. Still 11-0 Tiffin Columbian.
You just look at what Talib did there, and he just did a very complex physical skill. And I see this working with my 7-year-old on the Big Sticks team. That is hard to do, and he made it look cool.
Well, he made it look easy.
He made it look easy, and
a lot
it
of these
sure isn't.
Columbian fielders, they have a habit of that.
They do.
Well, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors for bringing you today's broadcast here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, TPC Food Service, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Rodgers Flowers, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Ink, Reclaim It, Molyet's Farm Market and Garden Center, Bookmeyer Printing, and Erin Henschke Photography, all proud sponsors right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Of course, I talked about our new sponsor added just yesterday, Erin Henschke Photography. And I told you about what they have to offer, but I think I need to remind you because there might have been some Calvert folks listening, or watching yesterday, and they're not watching today. And there might not have been some Columbian folks that heard about it yesterday. So let's tell you about it, about Erin Henschke Photography. So it's anything you need, folks. All your photography needs. You're talking about couple shoots, senior shoots, weddings, newborns, families, engagements, even graduation sessions. That's right. You think about senior pictures a lot, but graduation sessions are something just as important because they want those pictures after graduation. They want to be able to take the pictures in the cap and gown. They want the pictures with their classmates, and they want the pictures during the graduation party. So book Erin Henschke Photography, and anything that you need. If you mention this ad, mention that you heard about it on Heart of Ohio Sports, folks, $20 off your first session. That's right. Make sure you mention Heart of Ohio Sports when you book your first session with Erin Henschke Photography, one of our proud sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
If I can, super quick, give lots of credit to Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. They are serving as the sponsor of Tiffin's Memorial Day Parade, which I have the honor to serve as the Master of Ceremonies.
Yes.
11 a.m. on Frost Parkway. We'll have a cannon firing from Gilmore Ordnance. The Fort Stephenson Daughters of the War of 1812 will be there to make a presentation. And then what we're there for, we will be reading off the names of those who served that have gone on to the next place over the course of 2021. Those that are in the veterans organizations, we recognize all of them and pay tribute to all the warriors that have allowed us to really be here on a Saturday afternoon watching baseball.
Big shout out to Your Legacy Federal Credit Union.
And Rob Ludwig over there has been a gem.
Rob is so great to work with. One of my favorites as far as local marketing guys. He just gets it.
Yeah, he does.
And it's not about selling for him. It's not about selling to the community. He wants people to understand that they are a family-oriented business and that you need to stop there first when you're looking for a home loan or a car loan or whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for a loan, stop and see Your Legacy first, folks. I'm telling you, they're one of the first destinations you need to look at. I'm sorry, Greg, we lost you there for a second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
I was going to say, I hate to do this to you, Ben, but it's Sunday, bud. You said Saturday twice now. I'm worried you're a day behind.
That's all right. I'm calling him Ben Kin, so he's got Saturday
You
and
might
Sunday mixed
remember
up. It's all good.
I've been very ill, and I did just promise to donate my brain and spinal cord to Boston University. Thank you to Chris Nowinski, former WWE superstar, who really got that going. Coach Malott coming to the plate here. Looks like we got a pinch runner here. Number
Greg,
20 is going to
Your
enter.
mic sounds so good. When you get that thing going and it's tuned in, that thing sounds so great. I'm telling you.
Looks like Landon Cook's going to enter the contest for the Tornadoes as a pinch runner.
Entering as a pinch runner at first base, number 20, Landon Cook.
Landon Cook coming in as a pinch runner for the Tornadoes. Jaden Myers standing at the plate. 11-0 Tiffin Columbian here in the top of the fifth.
Now, I'm quite certain Coach Malott's not going to have Landon Steele, but that's pretty obviously a speed guy that he's just put in there. And if Jaden gets a hold of a ball, there's a very good chance he can score from first base. Very good chance.
That pitch inside. Grant Bauer still on the mound for the Redskins here. The 1-0. That one in there. Nice pitch by Bauer.
Grant Bauer's really done a phenomenal job for them, for what he's been asked to do.
And Myers laces that one in between the shortstop and third baseman for a base hit. Runners on first and second now with nobody out.
We got Braden Ruggo coming up to the plate. And, just one of those days where things just do not seem to be going well for Wapak. On this Sunday afternoon, thank you, Greggy Kin. As I mentioned, I've been very ill, and
it's nice to see you out, up and moving around and doing good, man.
I appreciate the invite, and just what a dream it is. This is the
he gets a hold of that one. Rogo sends it for a ride deep, and it's off of the glove of the left fielder. So all runners will be safe.
Oh, mercy.
He gave it a ride, but the left fielder was right there to make the play. It just went out of his glove for an error. I thought honestly, that had some carry to it. I thought maybe that might have a chance to be out, but
just missed it. Well,
warning track power for Rogo there.
I'm almost certain we had a Jose Canseco type scenario. I
wondered.
The left fielder, really hustled over there. That was not an easy play, and it went off his glove, and I'm pretty sure it bounced over, and
shortstop number 3, Braden Tucker.
Braden Tucker at the plate, and his little brother Quentin's entering the contest as a pinch runner. Now, this is something beautiful right here. I had both boys in class. Just phenomenal human beings.
Bases are juiced now for Braden Tucker. Nobody out here in the top of the fifth.
And about everybody on the base paths can fly right now. So if he gets something in play, this is going to just add some fuel to the fire here for the Tornadoes.
Braden Tucker just looks like a baseball player.
Yes, he does. Oh, mercy.
Nice job by the catcher there.
AJ
Popped out of his glove,
or Alex Lewis again, just out there keeping doing his job, even when things aren't going great for the Redskins.
Tucker fouls that one back and out of play. Going to go off of the press box here.
What is that funky thing on his helmet? That's been freaking me. I thought he was wearing
That's a face guard.
A face guard.
Yeah. Some of the helmets have those extended face guards to go over the jaw.
Oh.
Tucker gives that one a ride into center field, but this one looks to be playable. Center fielder squeezes it for the first out, but runner will tag from third and score the 12th run of the game for Tiffin Columbian.
Landon Cook comes in as a pinch runner and scores a run here in this big-time playoff game with the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes and Wapakoneta Redskins here at Memorial Field, Bluffton University. Beautiful day for baseball.
This district final.
District finals. This is what you dream about when you're in big sticks and you're in little league.
Auble gives this one a ride into center field, but this one looks to be playable, and it is.
And nobody's going to be able to tag for there, so runners on first and second. Looks like we're going to have another pinch hitter coming into the contest for the Tornadoes.
I think this is Wyatt Menser.
Wyatt Menser. Wyatt is a kid I just think the world of. He's had to play the season with a heavy heart, as you know.
Yes. This is another kid that I mean, his family means a lot to me personally. Brent Lucius,
Yes.
his father, one of our assistant coaches with the Eagles.
What a gem of a human being.
You want to talk about a guy that would literally give you all the clothes on his back.
Yep.
If it took it, I mean, everything that guy had, he gave it to youth and the youth sports in the area. And, you know, hats off to Wyatt. I mean, he's had a tough season, but he's really been out there battling.
Well, that would have been just the cherry on the cake there to wear one in his ear hole on the district final game. But I mean, just such a good kid, and just, you know, I'm 40 years old and losing my mom almost killed me, and here's this
Mentor
kid
fouls
just,
this one back, and
just
it's
killing
gonna
it. That's gonna be caught. That's gonna be caught by the stands, I do believe.
Somebody catch that? Yeah, somebody caught that.
Yeah, it was like a Willie Mays
catch.
Hayes basket catch.
Kid in the front row got a hold of that one.
Nice. Oh, let him keep the ball.
I don't think they do that.
Yeah, probably not.
Throw it back. Maybe if it was a Redskin foul.
There we go, Wyatt.
Menser sends that one into left field. This one looks to be trouble.
That could be trouble.
And it
It's
is
gonna be
playable.
caught.
Center fielder squeezes it for the final out in the top of the fifth. Tornadoes scratch across another run. They lead now 12-0. We're headed to the bottom of the fifth. Last chance for the Redskins here at Bluffton University Memorial Field. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins and Ben Gillig on the call. Got it right that time.
There we go.
Greg Kinn manning the cameras down the third base side, up on the dugout today. Thanks for tuning in once again here on Heart of Ohio Sports. I want to take a moment and thank all of our sponsors for bringing you today's broadcast, because without them, we wouldn't be here, folks. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, TPC Food Service, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Rodgers Flowers, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Ink, Reclaim It, Molyet's Farm Market and Garden Center, Bookmeyer Printing, and Erin Henschke Photography, all proud sponsors right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. And I want to tell you about one of our proud sponsors here. As, you know, Xcaret, we talk about them with the keys to the game, but, you know, I got to tell you about that new menu, folks. If you haven't got a chance to stop out, you have to. I'm telling you, you have to check it out. It's one of my favorite new items on the menu, and that is the Ohio State. Now, Ben, listen to me here. Chorizo, grilled onions, and chicken wrapped up in a huge flour tortilla, and then they smother that with queso, bacon, and grilled pineapple. I'm telling you, you know, you first of all, you had me at chorizo. I got a little puzzled at pineapple, but something that's been helping me lately, Nate, is I've been trusting people to know what they're doing. And you'd be amazed at the results. I roll into, you know, local ice cream places and I say, you know, young lady, give me a small of whatever you make for yourself. And I wind up just getting the best stuff because you put people in an advantage to show their skills. And sounds exactly what they're doing with you call it the Ohio State platter. Oh, nice hit there.
Attaway.
As the Redskins are aboard with a leadoff single.
Attaway, Caden Seifring. Way to keep battling.
Caden Seifring
says, excellent.
I don't care what that score is.
No.
I'm going up there with a mentality to attack.
And Grant Bauer out there. I mean, well, you may as well at this point. I mean, let's face it. This is
do or die.
This is do or die, and this is not a good situation for Wapak to be in. But they're still battling, and a leadoff single here. You know, that's what you need. Can't score a run till you get a guy on base. Oh,
that pitch in there for a strike.
Well, I mean, you can with a home run, but you know, let's not get too technical.
Grant Bauer standing in the batter's box.
Oh, another curve there.
What a bender right there.
Oh,
boy, that one had all kinds of movement.
You can't pick it up. And a left-hander, I mean, there's a reason why he's going to the University of Findlay.
The 0-2 is skied.
That could be trouble.
Behind third base, shortstop retreats, and the left fielder will make the play for the first out.
David Albel III. It's a kid I'm so happy to see in this scenario.
Redskins potentially down to their final 2 outs here.
You know, I remember David, Nate, I got to tell you, he showed up with his grandfather's gear bag. His grandfather was a veteran. We did it for Veterans Day, and he gave a 20-minute presentation, and 37th graders barely breathed because you could just tell how passionate he was and how much that item meant to him. And it was neat to see. Just a quality kid. Oh, look at that.
What a pitch by Malott.
Oh, my.
And these hitters, they just keep spitting on that curve like they don't want any part of it.
And I don't know. I don't know if they have taken a lot of called strikes, but I don't know if it would have made much difference. Just like that. And he was able to hold up there.
Evens the count at 1-1.
He wanted to swing.
He did.
He wanted to.
And I think a lot of it is just the motion, the movement out of his hand. You know, when it first comes out of his hand, it looks like that's going to be so high, and it just buckles down.
I need to get better at my drinking on, oh, mercy. On my, I feel like, you know, I take these big old gulps of my core water and Coca-Cola, and it's just like, come on, Ben, you sound like you're at a trough.
You're staying hydrated.
I am staying hydrated. I got to. My pancreas still doesn't quite work yet. Here we go.
The 1-2.
Oh, I think he went.
Struck him out. Gets away from the catcher. Rogo fires down to first.
That might do it.
Strike him out. Throw him out.
That's the
ball game that ends on a double play.
Wow.
Throw out from the catcher down to first, and that's the ball game. Your final, 12-0. Tiffin Columbian, your district final champions here at Bluffton University Memorial Field. We're going to step aside and take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll wrap things up. Don't go anywhere. We've got the postgame show coming up here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right. Welcome back here on Heart of Ohio Sports. You're tuned into the post-game show brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore. Nate Mullins and Ben Gillig live here in the post-game. And we've got Greg Kinn manning the cameras as he's going to try to get a shot of our district champions. Right now they're announcing the district runner-up, the Wapakoneta Redskins. Once again, your final 12-0. Tiffin Columbian moving on to the regional round for the second year in a row.
Yeah.
And it's the big accomplishment for the Tornadoes today. I want to take a moment real quick to thank all of our sponsors for allowing us to bring today's ball game to each and every one of you. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, TPC Food Service, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Rodgers Flowers, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Signs and Graphic Ink, Reclaim It, Molyet's Farm Market and Garden Center, and Bookmeyer Printing, as well as Erin Henschke Photography, all proud sponsors right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Once again, this is the First National Bank of Sycamore postgame show. We've got Greg Kinn standing by, hopefully with our player of the game interview here in a little while. We'll wait until they're done with their trophies and all their presentation and everything, because right now, they're still giving away the medals and the trophies, so we still got a little bit of time to kill here, Ben.
And, hats off to Wapakoneta. I mean, this obviously did not go the way they wanted it to, and just sometimes baseball gets away from you. But what a season. And here they were in the district final and ran into a buzzsaw, and that's what happens. I mean, you see that in the playoffs. I remember when I was growing up, Tiffin Calvert was just an unbelievable football team. Well, then they hit Norwalk St. Paul. They lose something like 41-0. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
And that, they should hold their head up high, especially the gentleman in the class of 2022 whose career for Wapak is coming to a close. Hopefully this experience, sports, this experience is something that they'll remember the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. Outstanding season for the Wapakoneta Redskins as they end their season 18-5-1.
And now the 2020.
How do you get a tie in baseball?
That's what I'm
kind of scratching my head with that one. Maybe it got rained out or something. Yeah, possibly. But either way, great season by the Redskins. And now they're calling out your district champions.
Number 1, Braden Rogo.
Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes. And let's take a look at the main cam here as maybe we can get a better look here as they announce the district,
there we go. AJ Hickman,
district champions.
Another one of those excellent players that, where do you find a spot? Cole Jordan, senior defensive end. Jake Jelinas, Alessandro, guys that give these guys a look. You see these guys come out and execute on game day. It's the guys they play against that are making them better. Iron sharpening iron, as Coach Letts likes to say.
David Auble III.
We have our Skycam perspective now as we see the champions, the district champions, Tornadoes.
And the hair, my goodness,
it's on display today.
On display. Well, there's David, though. David's got a haircut you can set your watch to.
Ethan Short.
Atta baby, Ethan Short.
Braylon Auble.
And Jaden Myers looking like the Incredible Hulk.
Assistant coaches Doug.
What a game today for the Tornadoes.
And Nick Weber.
We're going to go with Malott.
And the head coach, Kurt Malott.
And today, Ben, in a 12-0 game, it's really hard to ignore that zero. As we were looking through the stats here, there were many players that I really wanted to give it to today. Preston Keckler was one of them. 3 for 3 at the plate today, 4 RBIs, and a run scored. That was the one that I really was like, I really want to give it to him. And Ben, honestly, if you really you want to ask my opinion, he's deserving of the award, but how can you ignore the zero?
The zero.
I mean, you're talking about a Wapakoneta team that's, they've earned their trip here.
Yep.
And Carson Malott shut them down today.
They could not get a bat on the ball, and that's, and just with all the work that Carson has put in and all the work all those guys have put in, but he was dealing today.
Absolutely.
And his teammates just piled on the runs, but he'd have won that game 1-0
for sure
if need be. He just was not going to lose that contest, and the run rule is going to come into favor because that's going to be some innings. I don't know what comes next for the Tornadoes, where they travel to. I'm hoping Heart of Ohio Sports will be there, but to bring you this content, we need you guys to visit our sponsors. Nate's gone over them a number of times. They're all local people that you know, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Those of you that are way better at technology than me with my sausage finger thumbs, make some TikToks if we've said something good, or you see, the gems of Talabal's Aquani or Carson Malott's filthy curveballs out there. Feel free to tag us in all those posts, and that just helps us to spread the word about what Nate has worked so hard to bring here. Nate and Greg Kinn have worked so hard to bring Heart of Ohio Sports along with some other folks, and I've got to just kind of jump in here towards the end. But just super credit to you guys, and you and Tommy laying the groundwork, and Greggy with all your work with WTTF. To be able to come here and spend the afternoon, with my friends and my community and watch these boys win a title, pretty amazing.
Okay. We're trying to work on an interview here, possibly with the player of the game, Carson Malott, but obviously with the district championship presentation, it's going to be a little hard to get Carson over here. So we might have to work on that a little bit. We'll see if we can get him over here. But MST Sauce Company presents your player of the game. And when we get to that point, we'll have an interview hopefully with Carson Malott, and that is our MST Sauce Company player of the game here in the First National Bank of Sycamore postgame show. Once again, Nate Mullins and Ben Gillig joining you live here at Bluffton University Memorial Field, and we'll see if we're able to get Carson Malott for a postgame interview. But until then, what a beautiful day for baseball, and a gorgeous start to the Memorial Day weekend here, as I know some of you have already got your Memorial Day weekend started. But for me, well, now I can finally kick back and maybe have a cold one later, as I don't have a game tomorrow, so I can enjoy this a little bit. But, yeah, gorgeous weather.
And it is Sunday, as you mentioned. Maybe that's one of those things where, I'm not used to high school sports on a Sunday, but this is the playoffs, and heck, this is practically church out here on the ball diamond with your friends, with your brothers. I get the feeling we're gonna be in for. Look at all the pictures, just the parents just overjoyed. Especially I see Carson's mom, Melissa, there. With Coach Malott able to come back for the senior year with this group of players that he did so much with over the big sticks, and having the opportunity to come out and close out for a last hurrah with these guys, especially after the COVID canceled season, and last season being what it was, where you never knew, kid gets the sniffles and there's a good chance the whole season's going to be shut down for 14 days. Just what they've overcome is pretty special.
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna try to get a interview with Carson Malott here in just a second. We're gonna step aside. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll have a hopefully post-game interview with your MST Sauce Company player of the game, Carson Malott. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after this. You're tuned in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. All right, we're back, and here we are. Nate Mullins, Ben Gillig, joining you live here on location. We have our MST Sauce Company Player of the Game. Joining us now is Carson Malott. And Carson, I mean, you had an excellent game today, just a dynamite performance on the mound. Let's get you to back up just a little bit so we can get you in the light. That way you're a little bit better lit, because the lighting underneath, not quite as good. There we go.
There
all right, perfect. All right, so Carson, let's talk a little bit of baseball here. What a great performance by you today and by the rest of your team. Obviously, 12 runs is a lot, but that 0 really stands out to me. Talk about the mindset you came into today with.
Really just hungry for the next one. Although this one is pretty important to us, we're more looking forward to the next one now. So we want to be better than we were last year.
So you guys already had your mindset like we're going to get this one and move on.
Yes.
That's awesome. So that's a confidence mentality that I think comes from your coaching staff. Talk about what your coaching staff kind of instilled in you guys coming into this game.
They've been really good. I've been around all of them for a long time, so that really helps.
Yeah, and you guys have been together for a long time. This is a group that you guys have grown up together, the Big Sticks program. Talk about just the camaraderie on this team and how everybody, you guys just seem like a great group that always seems to pull for each other. Talk about that.
Yeah, the chemistry is just unbelievable. No more, I can't explain it better than that.
Yeah, right? I mean, that goes from playing so long together. I mean, that's built over time.
You know, the thing I would say is with you guys, and I've noticed this since you were in 7th grade, this goes back to Coach Gilbert, who was before your time, but Coach Gilbert, our football coach, always said, doesn't matter who gets the credit as long as there's credit to give. And, you know, you look at a game like today, I mean, Carson, you did Carson things. You got like a .31 ERA, which is borderline ridiculous. But then you got, you know, Preston Keckler stepping up, and, you know, the young Mr. Cook, you guys got him in, and he's going to score a run from first base. You know, just everybody contributing. And, you know, that's the reason you guys have had the season you've had, and that's the reason you've had the career you've had, especially with the nonsense. I mean, what's this mean to you with sophomore year, you know, just getting canceled for you? You know, just having the opportunity to actually play through the season.
Add a little fire.
Yeah, add a little fire to it.
Lit a burning fire, but put oil to the fire.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, man.
Well, you guys have definitely played like it the last 2 years, back-to-back district championships. Carson, I'm not going to hold you any longer, man. I'm going to let you go out there and enjoy this one with your teammates. Once again, thanks for coming on with us.
Bravo.
We appreciate it, and congratulations, MST Sauce Company, Player of the Game once again. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
We'll hopefully see you next time.
That's right. Carson Malott, our MST Sauce Company Player of the Game. What a ball game by the young hurler, the senior, the Finley commit.
Yeah, and our pal Louis over there letting him know, you know, game recognizing game right
That's
there.
right. He knew.
I love it.
So once again, your final score, Tiffin Columbian 12, Wapakoneta nothing, and a dominant performance by your MST Sauce Company Player of the Game, Carson Malott. All right, Ben, any final thoughts before I wrap things up here? You know,
No, just well done to these families and this splendid group of young men. And I look out there, I see some fans. You know, we see Bree Landers, number 30 all-time, state of Ohio for steals. You know, had another great senior season for Columbian. Little sister Avery is a freshman. It's families, you know. Tiffin Columbian sports is families. You know, it's the heart of Ohio, folks. You
That's
know,
right.
the pulse.
The pulse.
The pulse. But what
Speaking
an honor
of
it
the
was
pulse,
to join you here, brother. This was so much fun.
Speaking of the pulse, that's our next program we got coming up tomorrow night here on Heart of Ohio Sports, as we've got the podcast, The Pulse, live in studio, and it will be live to this weekend. This week it will be live, folks. We'll be here.
Dan Artsel said, I guess I'll see you Thursday.
Well, we'll have to see about that one, because it's going to be a decision to make, because right now I've got a lot of pull from the Calvert community trying to get us to that game on Thursday as well. So if both games are to be played on Thursday, we got a decision to make, and you'll have to stay tuned to figure out what we decide as far as our next broadcast. But I do know the Pulse podcast coming to you live right here on Heart of Ohio Sports tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And make sure you tune in tomorrow morning for Mulling It Over live in studio and Studio Squared in downtown Tiffin. All right, Ben, any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
No, good night and go blue, ladies
That's
and gentlemen.
right. What a dominant performance today by the Tornadoes. Once again, I want to thank our sponsors for bringing you today's broadcast. Thanks to MST Sauce Company, First National Bank of Sycamore, Xcaret Mexican Restaurant, TPC Food Service, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Rodgers Flowers, Phillips Electric, Steinmetz Science and Graphic Inc., Reclaim It, Molyet's Farm Market and Garden Center, Bookmeyer Printing, and Erin Henschke Photography, all proud sponsors right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. That's going to do it for Greg Kinn and Ben Gillig. I'm Nate Mullins signing off from Bluffton University Memorial Field. Once again, your final score, Tiffin Columbian 12, Wapakoneta nothing. Tiffin Columbian district champions. They move on to the regional round, and you'll have to stay tuned to figure out whether we cover that one or not right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you share the video, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and follow everything on social media.